Has the balance amongst the lines and the players and scoring allowed you to do as a team?
I think it's allowed us to win games. Quite frankly, when you get scoring from unusual sources on a regular basis, you have a way better chance of winning. And it often means that maybe your third or fourth line's out playing the other team's third or fourth line. But it hasn't just been that. We've been able to score shorthanded. We've been able to get some timely goals off face-offs and forechecks that the whole group is contributing to, and we're happy for that depth. We hope that it can continue, but we know that the task will get harder as we go forward.
Teams are overly concerned with the top line, if that's the reason?
Well, potentially. Obviously, Connor and Milan and Jordan can do a lot of damage when they're on the ice, but I don't know that teams are overly aggressive just on that unit. I think they're aware of some other guys on our team, and as we go forward, we'll see different matches, different types of pairings that are out against Connor's line, and it should open up some space, but I don't know if that's been the case this early.
Did Pouliot need to find a few of those bounces like he did the other night?
He did, Nuge did. They needed to be rewarded for their work. You can keep going to work every day and pound away, and eventually you got to be able to step back and see something for it, and the reward was in the goals against a real good hockey club, and it was nice to see them get that reward. We'd like to see them continue that, obviously. For us to have success, that line has to find the scoreboard.
Todd, at the Vancouver games I've watched, they've been predominantly focused on shutting down the opposition. They're defensively strong. What's the key in terms of creating as much offense as you possibly can against a group like that?
Well, they are positionally sound, and they're committed to doing it. They haven't given up very many goals, and for me, it starts with both their goaltenders. They've been tremendous. They don't give up on anything. Even your second opportunities against this team, you really have to bear down on. Their structure's been good on the forecheck and the pinch. They haven't been giving up very many outnumbered rushes. Their neutral zone's strong. They're a team that's committed to doing that. And teams that have opened it up and got sloppy have paid for it. Other teams that have stayed patient have a chance to have success. So we're going to try and limit our mistakes and try and get to the net for second opportunities against a pair of pretty good goalies.
You don't expect a track meet tonight?
Well, you know what? You never know what to expect in today's game. When you finally make your mind up that the game's probably going to be played a certain way or it may be low scoring, you get the exact opposite. So we'll worry about our game. We'll play to what we think our strengths are if we can, and we'll look up at the end of the night, and hopefully that's good enough.
Todd, for so many years, people have looked at the young players on this team, the first overall picks, and predicted great things for the Oilers, and it never happened. It never came close to happening. What do you hope is different now? What do you hope that this team has now that it didn't?
Well, I hope that the depth, and that was the very first question I answered today, I hope that the depth is starting to evolve, and it's contributing in all different ways, not only scoring, but physicality, special teams, leadership in the locker room. In the past, there's been so much pressure put on those first picks overall to basically take the team and the organization out of the doldrums, that it's a lot of pressure to put on those individuals. Now, you might be saying, well, we're relying on Connor. Of course we are, but he's very well equipped to handle it. And I think the people around him right now are maybe a little different than what we've had in the past.
Do you think that having role models, having older players is important in that? And when you were in San Jose, for instance, Pavelski and Couture had Marlowe and Thornton. It seems like Edmonton really hasn't had those older players to
I think there's a point that could be made to that. Somebody that can settle things down when maybe it's not going too well or it is going really good. Lucic, Maroon, those players that have come from other organizations that have consistently won have kept our group on a pretty even keel. And that's important. It's not always as good as you think, and it's not always as bad as you think. And those players are able to relay that message to the group.
The people in this market are familiar with Zack Kassian. And can you just talk about what's changed with him as a player and a person since he's come here?
Well, for me, the most important thing is the person. We're all well aware of where he went lifestyle-wise and where it took him to win the fight that he's won so far with some of those demons. I think speaks volumes of him. He's got a tremendous support network with his teammates and the people in Edmonton, as well as people away from the rink that are helping him. So I'm so proud of him to come through that as the person. The player, our expectations maybe are a little bit different than what they were here in Vancouver. We've got him penalty killing, we've got him playing in straight lines. We don't look at the stat sheet and say that, you know, he's got to score 30 goals, because I don't know if that's his game. If he just quietly contributes on a nightly basis in whatever role we give him, that's enough. And it's a lot of pressure, as we talked about with first round draft picks, to be the superstars, and it doesn't always work out that way.
Todd, it's not easy to win in this division, certainly. How happy are you to have some results? You guys buy into your blueprint that you're hoping to start the season with?
Well, it's, you know, the start is really, really important. It makes you feel good and you get points in the bank, but what hasn't been talked about is our team last year had a 6-game winning streak. You know, we still know what the ultimate record was, so we have to understand that as a group. I think we're doing a fairly good job of receiving that message and putting our foot on the gas pedal every day to get better. We're not complacent, at least I don't sense that we are. And we know that we have to get better if we want to continue to win.